A new battleground for ISIS and Al-Qaeda affiliated groups as they lose ground in the Middle East. Last week, the abduction of a Cape Town couple allegedly at the hands of a unit loyal to the terror group ISIS. Following this, the UK updated their travel advisory for their citizens wanting to travel to South Africa. In the past month, there have been several attacks in northern African regions in Somalia, Burkina Faso, Kenya, Mali, Nigeria and Niger. Well, is there a rise in terror activity on the continent, and should we be concerned? Joining us via the phone is Afro Middle East Centre Senior Researcher Ibrahim Deen. Thanks for being with us, Ibrahim. Firstly, this couple, the attack on the couple that caused the UK to raise their terror alert, saying there could be attacks in South Africa. I don't think we've had a full explanation for that. What's your take?
It seems to me more crime-related. The only reason they used, basically putting it under the prevention of protection of constitutional democracy or the Terrorism Act, Anti-Terrorism Act, is because when they arrested one of the individuals, they had an ISIS flag on the roof. So there's no real ISIS links. It's not ISIS modus operandi. From the evidence seen thus far, it seems as if it's two individuals who committed a crime that's more not necessarily an act of terror. So it's, the information is murky. The travel advisory normally issued by the UK, and this has happened in the recent past a good few times before, is mainly to try and get South Africa to change its stance on terrorism and counterterrorism closer to that of the US and UK. Currently South Africa is a more nuanced view. So there doesn't seem to be any increased threat of ISIS in South Africa. They, never was a big threat anyway in the first place. And also, on the evidence provided, there's very little that suggests that it's an ISIS-planned attack or that ISIS wanted to carry out an attack. It just seems to be very murky and seems to be something that's more crime-related than actual terrorism-related.
So then what would you say is the state of terror, I guess, in South Africa? I've heard that there are ISIS cells operating. People are being trained here, but I can't tell you where. There's just rumors. At the same time, we're not believed to be a major target. Is that still the case?
It's still the case. There's no real ISIS cells in the sense that people have been trained here. There have been people that have gone to Syria. But some going fighters, but most going as migrants. ISIS hasn't really issued, hasn't declared in a South African province. Its arena of operation is not South Africa, and it just doesn't seem as if ISIS would want to, especially now that it's being fought back in Syria or constrained to such an extent in Syria. It doesn't seem as if ISIS would want to do something like this or carry out an operation in South Africa to, once again then stayed in another arena already when it's losing so badly or being defeated so badly in Syria. But, in saying so, there's always possibilities for lone wolf attacks. And that's, not necessarily ISIS plans. It could just be, a person looking at the internet, being inspired and, going out to show more and getting out an attack. That is not necessarily ISIS orchestrated, ISIS plans, and it's very difficult to stop.
And in general, our policies when it comes to the Middle East, our beliefs, our stated policy as South Africa is believed to cushion us to some extent. We're not seen as very pro-Israel, for example. We're not seen as a threat. Does that make sense?
I think it's our policy specifically in terms of foreign intervention. We didn't intervene in Iraq and Afghanistan, so we do have a very nuanced policy on the Middle East, which does protest us. Also, I think, very key in ISIS and ISIS attacks and ISIS recruitment is disillusionment among the population, the local population. In South Africa, most Muslims are very well integrated in society. There's no curbs on religion, no curbs on freedom, and this means that South African Muslims see themselves as South African. So they're, generally very integrated, and so there's no need for them to plan attacks in South Africa. Significantly in terms of the ISIS threat, for example, we see ISIS or the previous Minister of Intelligence who worked with Muslim communities, when the ISIS threat was a bit higher or when at least the belief that the ISIS threat was a bit higher was there. And so it's a communal initiative. It's, it's something that that is more nuanced and is actually something that I think we can help or teach the rest of, the world in a sense.
All right, thank you so much, Ibrahim Dean, Afro Middle East Centre Senior Researcher. And Blaine, that brings us to the end of Prime News for now. Sporting action next, then we'll be back.
Take care, bye-bye.